Hi, good morning. It's nice to see you. I haven't come out for a conversation in a minute. Um, my mother's brother died. Um, 76. He had a stroke over the weekend. I feel bad for. Anyway, it's all complicated and messy anyway because politics, right? It's torn up a lot of families. But that's not why I'm here. I want to talk about Gavin Newsom. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Gavin Newsom and Ezra Klein. And I want to remind them both that it doesn't matter if I'm a blue dot in a deep red rural state. The fact that you're a so-called Democrat doesn't make me like you. I don't like you. I don't like Gavin Newsom. I can't fucking stand that man. Like, I don't even care. He's got a meme game. That's good for him. I'm not on the twit box. I'm not on social media anywhere. YouTube is the only place you can find me. I don't participate in the other ones because I'm not an insufferable cuck. It's fine. Anyway, so here's my point. So I'm about as left as they come in this red state. I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I'm oh, Jesus Christ, the stuff I've been called. The libtard commie, that one I get, whatever, that's fine. I'm a democratic socialist who believes in unions and public school. Like, what can you, I'm sorry, be mad. But also, I'm really used to a harder life. Not, we don't live a soft life out here. That doesn't happen. And so Gavin Newsom and his $1 million ting smile and his fucking, tub of hair pomade, his hands are too smooth already. I don't like him. I don't like him. And it's obvious that he just traffics where the wind blows, right? Like, I don't think that man has an ideology or a real sense of the people, for one thing. I think he's an egotistic narcissist, which makes sense. They all seem to run for office. Like, why he doesn't, he will never resonate with anybody out here. He's not relatable at all. At all. Now, there are people who get elected out of here who were wealthy business, right? Like Doug Burgum, and like leveraged his family farm that he didn't work for. He didn't work for, he didn't build the equity in, he didn't do any of that work, but he was able to leverage his parents' farm in order to invest in some company and then later sell it to Microsoft because all those pedos run around together. So he became very wealthy, and but then everybody around here claps and they're like, "Oh, hometown boy makes good." Yeah, on his parents' farm. That's fine. But he's a red hat. And so unless Newsom wants to go play for that team, because we're not going to fall for it at all. You might want to have a little visit with people like Heidi Heitkamp or Joe Manchin or, I'm trying to think of who the rest of, there's a few of them where they tried to moderate their position. They tried to be, and now we have women who are allowed to die if they end up pregnant. Because this third term abortion, late term abortion lie. It's a lie. That's not a thing. It's never happened. It never happened. It never happened. It wasn't legal under Roe anyway. And also, if it was a thing that women were just out here running around getting late term abortions, wouldn't we notice? Wouldn't anybody notice? Like, somebody would go to work on Thursday with Bethany or Brittany or I don't know what her name is, right? And she's pregnant out to here, and then show back up on Monday and she's just not pregnant anymore? Would you have the baby? No, I just got rid of it. What? We'd know that. Furthermore, there isn't a woman alive. I don't believe that. If she is beyond 20 weeks, she has a list of names picked out and a crib. And now They have demonized a woman who is in distress and is about to lose a wanted child because their zealotry and their hatred for all human beings. Dude, that fucking crew, man, on the right. My mother's brother died this weekend. And my mom and her brother didn't see eye to eye on politics. Right? It's a point of contention. It was causing fights and families falling apart and never speaking to each other again. Anyway, but she has another sister who is on the same political side as the uncle. Like, they're both fucking donning that goddamn red hat and clapping like seals. So this aunt of mine hates this uncle of mine, even though they're identical people. But he dies, and the aunt only has to say, well, I hope he found Jesus. Like, in just the worst, judgmental, she's a cunt. She's a hateful, bitter old woman. It's shameful. Where am I going with that? I don't know. I don't know what brought that up. Because I know I meant to talk about Gavin Newsom. It's been a long weekend, man. I apologize. Just the judgment. Oh, and the abortion. And so it's a woman like that, like her, and a couple others. I have another uncle. Like, they're not going to show up for each other. That's a long. I'm sideways, aren't I? I'm such a pinball. It's the demonizing other human beings, so that, you know, this aunt of mine, she does it so that she feels taller and bigger, and so she can claim that she's the only righteous one in the room who believes and has the best relationship with Jesus and all that shit. But she's a horrible human being. Like, the stuff that comes out of her mouth, the way that she treats other people around her, like, she is the worst example of Christ-like ever. Unless, of course, you know, they're all just fucking narcissists, man. And they use their faith as their shield. They use that I believe in Jesus bullshit lie. He doesn't believe in you, man. Not her. Not her. There's no fucking way. He doesn't live in that house. That woman is a hateful bigot. A hateful, hateful, hateful bigot. Oh, abortion. Yeah, no. There's no such thing as late term, third term abortion. There's no such thing. And I don't think 12-year-old kids should be forced to give birth either, or 13 or 14 or whatever. It's not my business. I think a woman has a right to choose. Full stop, end of story. Anyway, so Gavin Newsom and Ezra Klein think that it is perfectly acceptable to let all of us ladies just fucking die. And, you know, not to mention people getting picked up from streets and black folks in the South getting hung from trees in this day and age, in 2026. Like, it's not Jim Crow era, right? But it is. That's what they're doing. And that Red Hat crew just claps for that. They love that. They think cruelty is the best thing that's ever happened. They think that retribution, for what? For what? They need to get back at all us lefties? For what? Just because I won't praise your fucking golden calf idol? Like, I don't understand that. Why? I don't understand the blind worship to that guy. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever be able to wrap my head around it. Like, I know, like, it's a cult thing and identity, and maybe because they were outcasts to be, like, nobody likes them, the people who vote for that guy. Perfectly moderate, if there is such a thing anymore. Like, I don't know who the hell, who could you be, how could you be, what is a centrist? What is that? I don't understand that. What is it? Somebody define it for me. Is it like you believe in human rights, but also unchecked capitalism and billionaires we should give them more government contracts so that they get more money for free? We should give them government contracts, then sell their product to the public so they can make more money. Then we should subsidize that infrastructure or whatever, or we're going to subsidize it. We're going to give them grants. We're going to give them tax breaks. Also, they can sell a product to the American people and make more money. Like, I don't know what a moderate is. Like, I still believe in private property. That's fine. You can own property, right? Like, that's stupid. Like, can we have what like Norway and Denmark have? That's that's what I want. Can we have healthcare? Can we get public ed? Can we get a bit more public higher ed? We had it once upon a time until Reagan just decided no. And then Bill Clinton came in and finished the job. I don't want another Bill Clinton in office. I don't. If that's your idea of a centrist, a man who revamps food stamps and demonizes everybody all the way down. I don't like Gavin Newsom. I don't fucking like him. He's too soft. He's too pretty. His teeth is too flashy. His hair is too much wax, man. Too much. Calm down. Like, just stop. It looks plastic. Like, and I don't want a Ken doll. Or a chatty Cathy. Like, that's what he reminds me of. Yak, yak, yak. Just pull the string and he'll say whatever, his advisors or his data procurers or, somebody did a little data set and they're like, no, we think you should really say this. No, I think you should shut the fuck up and go back to California. I might be a blue dot in a rural state, but I'm still pretty rural. And, I don't want him here. I don't want him here. I don't want him or anybody like him here. They're just here to exploit my entire community. They're here to sell it off. We're going to let oil and gas come in and harvest every last thing. Not just the minerals under the feet, but your life, your dreams of a future, your ability to own a home, all of it. The company will show up. It's going to strip everything it possibly can. It'll harvest every last thing. Oh, you thought you were going to go to college to be like a doctor or a nurse or, I don't know, something else? No. You are going to go to kindergarten thinking, one day I'm going to work in the mines. That's because oil and gas, private oil and gas companies who are private, they're not owned by the American government. They're not owned by the fucking people. They're not owned by you and me. So when you all laud oil and gas, like you're lauding British Petroleum and Dutch Shell, those are foreign fucking companies. And even if it was, Standard or Exxon, they're private companies. They get to become billionaires. We get to eat a bag of dicks. Do you understand how that works? Sorry, I'm not yelling at you, man, my viewer, because the chances are you agree with me, right? Like, yeah, I mentioned I don't like Gavin Newsom. And I'm not a big fan of Ezra Klein either. Those two are completely out of sync and out of touch with the reality on the ground. Completely out of touch. And the thing with Gavin Newsom is he's a chameleon. Would that be the right way to put it? Like, he's going to change his spots depending on the audience in front of him, right? So he'll talk some kind of game if he's yucking it up with Charlie Kirk, and then he'll talk some other kind of game if he's talking to AOC, and then he'll talk some other kind of game if he's talking to the current fucking schmuck in the White House. Like, that one is not to be trusted, and we should stay away from him. If you sit down for a mani-pedi, you're not the man for me. Or woman, I guess, running for the White House, but let's be honest. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. We have enough bankers and investment brokers and billionaire hedge funders and just schmucks who were handed all their money the day they were born because mommy and daddy. That's not what I want anymore, or at all. I've never wanted that shit. So why on earth he thinks that he would be any kind of particularly popular in the middle, geographically speaking? You know, there's a great big red strip all the way down, right? Why does he think he would be? Or maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he just needs to play for Texas and Florida, and that's the end of that. Because, you know, my state only has 3 electoral votes. Nobody gives a shit. But he's not popular here. Christ, I have more influence in my own state than he does. And I don't have that much, but I know I have that much. I know I have that much. I know I could go and tell everybody I know, don't fucking vote for that guy. He's a crook. And they'd all go, okay. I mean, if you say so, I trust you. And I'd say, you should. Thank you. I'll host a potluck. Invite all the small town grannies and we'll sit around and talk trash about his hair. Anyway, I don't even know, you know, I'm sorry. This is sort of impromptu and I'm just talking and thinking out loud and not really saying anything, but yeah, I don't know. You know, I understand. Did I mention this? The guy's got quite the meme, Twitter meme game going on, and that's fine. He can do whatever he wants, but the vast majority of us aren't on social media. And then there's folks out here who, if they are, it's just one app. It's not a bunch of them. Like I hear people talk about needing to give up their phone. They're on their phone a lot. It's an addiction. It is. And you end up having like a physical, like you reach for your phone, right? Like the ghost limb syndrome thing or whatever. You know, I'll tell you something. It's an addiction. My mom quit smoking about, 4 or 5 years ago now. After 50 years, she kicked it. Bravo, man. She quit smoking a couple times in her life before, but it just never took. This time it did. And anyway, but she'll catch herself. There will be moments. She was just over last week, and she sat down at the kitchen table, and she went like this to reach for like her pack of cigarettes that haven't been there for 5 years. That's how powerful that go get some addiction works. You know, anyway, sorry, I'm off topic again. But the social media apps, yeah. My mom was on the Twit box for a long time, and I begged her to get off it. She finally did. She kicked that. Bravo. Jesus Christ, what a waste of time. This one I'm on, nothing else. Nothing else. I have a younger brother who is familiar with Reddit just because, I mean, for one thing, it's his age, and then, you know, video games and stuff, and just, Reddit came about more at his coming of age, you know. But beyond that, I mean, I know there are a lot of rural communities that use, like, Facebook and shit. But most of us out here don't have more than one social app. Not, you know, maybe the kids, I doubt it. Maybe. You know, like a TikTok or a Snapchat. Whatever happened to that? Do people still use Snapchat? I haven't heard of that in a long time. I don't know. Some guy my husband used to work with in the trades, I don't know, it's just funny. You know, face filters and beer, I guess. It's like every Snapchat had something to do with beer. Like, that was it. No, man, Gavin Newsom is not relatable out here. And neither is Ezra Klein. I would bet you're, like, I could go down to the Target or a Walmart or whatever. If I stood at the door and did a poll, I bet you maybe 1 out of every 100 people have heard of Ezra Klein. And that's probably being generous. right? Like they don't. They know who Sean Hannity is. They don't know who the hell Ezra Klein is. He's wrong, is what I'm saying. There is no moderating on human rights. I won't vote for you if you do that at all. You won't have a chance in hell, especially if you come in here and your only gig in life has been standing up in a suit and talking. Nothing. You've never done any other kind of hard work ever. I can't vote for you. You're going to have to run for the red team. They'll vote for you, but I won't. You could ask Heidi Heitkamp about that. Or Joe Manchin for that matter. Like, there's a more familiar one that people are more regularly familiar with. But Heidi Heitkamp was a Democrat out here. Believe it or not, we've had Democrats, lots of them. When I was a kid, we had Dem representatives quite a bit because the farmers would vote for the Dems because the Dems were the ones who would fight for farm policy. But I don't know. Bill Clinton and the Bush era, they just all threw us over. It's fine. It's not. You know what I mean. That's a very passive aggressive, the most passive aggressive statement ever uttered. It's fine. Yeah, Heidi Heitkamp. This is what happened. I know because I was alive and I experienced it and did it myself. After Sandy Hook, she came out and said that we need to protect guns. But guns are somehow a way of life. She's not wrong about that, it being a way of life part. Most of us are very familiar, but it was tasteless and tacky and unnecessary. Nobody's coming for anybody's guns. And I'm so tired of that. It's like the third term abortion lie. It's just a lie. I left that box blank. I couldn't vote for her. I couldn't. It doesn't have anything to do with choosing the lesser at that point. For me, it becomes like a physical revulsion, like a physical response. In the same way, I'll give you when I was a kid, like 14 or so, I ate a bunch of, that day I was eating sour cream and onion potato chips. And later that night I got hit with the flu and I threw up all of those sour cream and onion potato chips. I never ate them again in my life. It's been 40 years I've not eaten them. Same thing happens with undercooked dinner or something. Like if it's just one bite, that's it. Now I'm not eating the whole plate, right? I'm done. I can't. Also, I noticed this happened a few months back. I was scrounging around looking for something to watch. And there's this really fun series on HBO that came out a long time ago. The Ladies' #1 Detective Agency, is that what it's called? Pardon me if I missed, it's a long title with several words. And anyway, it's kind of fun. It's about a woman detective is she in Zimbabwe? I think so. Anyway, I really liked the show when I watched it when it first came out all those years ago. And so I went to go watch it again. Well, at the very beginning, opening credits is a black screen with this big white, these two spotlights that make a W. It was a Weinstein Company. And I had to back out. I can't, I'm going to throw up. I can't watch this. I'm done. The physical aversion is that strong. And so when Heitkamp was running again, sorry, I can't. And if everybody says, well, then that just left room for a Republican in the Senate, what difference does it make? That's what she was doing. She was voting with them all the time anyway. For big business and tax credits, and never mind the rest of us. She was doing good work in regards to, at least somebody was talking about it, about the rate at which Native women go missing around here and children. It's because we have man camps from oil and gas. Because oil and gas will extract every last thing it can from you before it pulls up stakes and leaves you destitute. That's how that works. I don't know everything I've said. I don't know if you sat in and listened. You're still here. I'm glad you're here. Did I mention it's Thursday? It's Thursday. I've got things coming up on the horizon, I suppose. At some point, I'm trying to put the brakes on sowing more seed. I really want to start sowing tomato seed, but it's a little early. A couple more weeks. A couple more weeks. March, it's 6 to 8. Excuse me. My coffee's giving me, sow your seeds 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. So, the last week of May, they need to be ready at the earliest. And also at the latest, because I don't want to be planting stuff in mid-June because I don't have a season long enough that they're going to get, big enough to do anything. I have to have good, solid, robust plants to put in the ground at the end of May. But it's all right. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it, and hopefully all this menopausal acne will go away. It's clearing up. Jesus God. That's all right. That's a small, minor, who cares? I'm going to drink some coffee and get on with my day. Yeah, I guess the whole point of this video is just to say that, like, I'm not voting for Gavin Newsom. So lots of luck, I guess. No. And we need to have a Democratic primary, and I'm not voting for him. He can go kick rocks or pick rocks or actually do some actual work for once in his life, like physical labor. That man gives me the ick. So good luck. Anyway. Oh yeah, and if there's any, I don't know, man, if there's any kind of strategist that listens to any stupid shit I have to say, you should tell your dudes, man, that's not the winning strategy. Is to take more of our rights away so that you can win a seat in Nebraska. It's not. That just means that the Dems have completely thrown us all over. And we don't have any faith or trust in them at all. I mean, at least the other guys are just open about it. Like, they're corrupt and they'll be like, yeah, I am. What? Like, that's it. So, I mean, I'm not going to vote for him, but I just wouldn't vote. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what it would take to keep me out of that booth, honestly. Because you got to try. You got to keep going for something. I don't know. Anyway. You have a good day. I'll see you again.